Welcome to Knowledge Hub, where curiosity meets discovery. Dive into a world of fascinating facts, mind-blowing science, and the secrets behind everyday wonders. Get ready to expand your mind and explore topics that spark your imagination. Let's unlock the knowledge together. I remember the day everything changed. It was just another morning in the jungle, the sun filtering through the leaves, casting playful shadows on the ground. My family and I were going about our daily routines, blissfully unaware of the danger lurking just beyond our little haven. Then, I heard it, a voice, faint but urgent. It sent chills down my spine. I knew something was wrong. When I turned to my father, I saw the worry etched on his face. We had to act fast. My wife, injured and vulnerable, needed us. We packed our belongings in a frenzy, the weight of fear heavy in the air. As we fled, I could hear the rustling of leaves and the distant sounds of our enemies approaching. It felt surreal, like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. We found a pit, a temporary refuge. My heart raced as we huddled together, trying to stay quiet. But then, my father, my rock, made a decision that would haunt me forever. He stepped out to confront the enemies, to buy us time. I wanted to scream, to pull him back, but I was frozen in place. I watched in horror as they overwhelmed him, his bravery met with brutality. The moment he fell, a piece of me shattered. Left in that pit, my wife and I were powerless, our home ransacked, our lives turned upside down. They took everything, our medicine, our supplies. I felt despair clawing at my insides, but I couldn't let it consume me. I had to find a way to survive, to protect my wife. After what felt like an eternity, I gathered my courage. I had to leave the pit, to venture into the unknown. The jungle, once a sanctuary, now felt like a labyrinth of dangers. The winter was unforgiving, the cold biting at my skin. But I pressed on. Each step was a reminder of what I had lost, but also of what I had to fight for. I faced wild animals, their eyes glinting in the shadows, and I learned quickly that survival meant adapting. I had to be smarter, quicker. I encountered a woman from the enemy camp. Her fierce demeanor matched my desperation. We clashed, a fight for survival. But in that struggle, I discovered something crucial. She revealed snippets of information about their camp, their numbers, their weaknesses. With each challenge, I grew stronger, more determined. I was no longer just a husband or a son. I was a fighter. I had to find help to rally others against the threat that loomed over my family. The jungle was vast, but I was driven by love and loss. I would not let my father's sacrifice be in vain. I would reclaim our lives, no matter the cost. As I moved forward, I felt the weight of my past, but I also felt a flicker of hope. I was ready to confront the enemies, to take back what was ours. The journey ahead would be perilous, but I was no longer afraid. I was fueled by the memories of my father, the love for my wife, and the fierce determination to survive. I can still feel the weight of the medicine in my pack, a small victory amid the chaos. I thought I had a moment to breathe, a moment to gather my thoughts. But the enemy is relentless. I was exhausted, leaning against that tree, thinking I could catch a break. That's when it happened. A sudden kick to my side sent me sprawling. I barely had time to react before I realized the leader was right there, his eyes burning with hatred. He had been hunting me, plotting my demise. I could see it in his eyes, the satisfaction of finally cornering me. But I wasn't going down without a fight. I scrambled to my feet, adrenaline surging through my veins. We clashed, fists flying, each blow echoing the pain I felt for my family. Every punch I threw was fueled by the memories of what they took from me. He was strong, but I was fueled by rage and desperation. I dodged his strikes, countering with everything I had. I could hear the sounds of battle around us, but all I could focus on was him. I had to survive. I had to make him pay. But then, in the midst of our struggle, I saw one of my companions in trouble. He was being dragged away, and I knew I couldn't let that happen. I had to choose, continue this fight or save him. I made my decision in an instant. I pushed past the pain, the exhaustion, and charged toward my friend. I couldn't let the enemy take anyone else from me. I fought my way through, determined to reach him. The leader shouted in frustration, but I didn't care. I had to protect what little I had left. I could feel the fire of vengeance burning brighter within me. In that moment, I realized that this fight was bigger than just me. It was about survival, about standing up against those who thought they could break us. I wouldn't let them win. I wouldn't let fear dictate my actions. I would fight for my family, for my friends, and for every moment stolen from us. As I reached my companion, I felt a surge of hope. Together, we could face whatever came next. Together, we would rise against the darkness that threatened to consume us. This battle wasn't over. It was just beginning. I had to think fast. The enemy was closing in, and I needed an edge. So, I pulled off the oldest trick in the book, disguising myself in his clothes. It was risky, but it was my only shot. As I slipped into his gear, I could feel the weight of the moment. I was now a ghost in his world, and he had no idea. When he approached, I could see the confusion in his eyes. He sensed something was off, but before he could piece it together, I struck. The fight was quick, brutal. One moment he was standing there, and the next he was on the ground. I felt a rush of adrenaline. I had taken him down, but I knew the real challenge lay ahead, the leader. He was a few paces away, standing tall and unafraid. I could see the confidence radiating off him. I knocked an arrow, took aim, and released. The arrow flew straight and true, but fate had other plans. It struck his leg, and he crumpled to the ground. I felt a surge of triumph, but it was short-lived. I rushed toward him, ready to finish what I started. He closed his eyes, resigned to his fate. I drew another arrow, but in that moment, everything went sideways. My aim faltered, and the arrow missed. Just like that, we were back to square one, two warriors equally matched. With no arrows left, we both reached for our knives. The tension was palpable. I could feel my heart racing as we squared off, ready to fight. But just as we were about to clash, a chilling sound pierced the air. Wild dogs, howling in the distance. Panic surged through me. I couldn't stick around for a fight with both him and a pack of hungry dogs. I turned and ran, adrenaline fueling my escape. The thrill of the chase was intoxicating, but I knew I had to stay sharp. This wasn't over. The leader would be back, and next time, I wouldn't miss.
I can still feel the adrenaline coursing through my veins. I had just fought off every enemy that stood in my way, each confrontation pushing me to my limits. My heart raced as I grabbed my wife's medicines, the weight of my mission heavy on my shoulders. I ran home, each step fueled by desperation and hope. But when I reached our door, my heart sank. It was wide open, swinging gently in the breeze. Panic surged through me. Where was she? My mind raced with the worst possibilities. I could almost hear the growls of wild dogs, the haunting howls of wolves echoing in the distance. I dropped to my knees, overwhelmed by despair. Tears streamed down my face as I thought I had lost everything. Then, just when I thought all hope was gone, I felt a presence behind me. I turned, and there she was, my wife, alive, safe. The relief that washed over me was indescribable. We embraced tightly, our tears mingling as we held each other, both of us realizing how close we had come to losing everything. In that moment, I understood the power of resilience. She had fought for her life, just as I had fought for hers. We had both prayed for survival, and somehow, against all odds, we were together again. Life can be cruel, but it can also be beautiful. We had faced darkness, but we emerged into the light, stronger than ever. Our love had been tested, and it had prevailed. As we stood there, I knew this was just the beginning of a new chapter for us. We would cherish every moment, every breath, and every heartbeat. Together, we would face whatever challenges lay ahead, hand in hand, heart to heart. And just like that, our story didn't end. It transformed into something even more profound. We had survived, and now we would thrive.
If you enjoy what you see, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your support means the world and helps us create even more amazing content for you.